David Doucette here, podcastcoach.com. I want to welcome you to the very first Podcast Coach video tip. I'm really excited about these video tips because it's going to help us discover the world of podcasting together. There's a lot of information to cover, and what we're going to talk about today is just answer the question, what makes a podcast a podcast? So let's head over to the magic chalkboard and have a look. Okay, so here we are, and we are going to answer the burning question, what makes a podcast a podcast? So let's take a look at a couple of things that people tend to associate with a podcast. And the first one we have here is the iPod. And then down here we have iTunes. And many people, when they think of a podcast, think of iTunes or iPod. And there is a correct association there in the sense that these allow us to listen to podcasts. So both of these allow us to listen to podcasts, but they are not podcasts in and of themselves. So now let's take a look and see how a podcast is born. We have here a microphone, and we have here a video camera. The microphone is going to record an MP3 format, and that is going to allow the podcast to be on iTunes and other podcatchers. The video format is going to be MP4. Now, when you record your podcast through your microphone and your recording setup, you can record it typically as a WAV file or as an MP3, but there will be some sort of processing process that will turn it into an MP3. So your end result of your file, of your audio file, will be MP3. So that's audio, and the MP4 is video. Now that we know our MP3 is our recorded audio file, or the MP4 is our recorded video file, let's take a look at the next step. So we've taken our file and we have processed it, and the next step is to upload it to our media host. So this is our media host. I use a service called Libsyn. There are others out there. Many of you are probably familiar with the Amazon S3 service as well. And once it is up there, then we are going to go to our website and we are going to make a blog post about our podcast. Oh, I just said podcast. It's not a podcast yet. We're going to make a blog post about our audio or video file, and that's what we have here. Okay, so now we've made the blog post. It is up on our website, and you can see the play button right here. Let's go get a red. Here's our player right here, and we can click play and we can listen to that episode. However, it is not a podcast yet. What it is, it's an audio file that is available to listen to on our website. That is not a podcast. So let's go take a look at what a podcast is, because I know you're more curious than ever to know what makes a podcast a podcast. We've gone through sort of the process of a podcast being born, but it's not even a podcast yet. So tell me what it is. And here it is right here. It is this guy, the RSS Feed. This is what makes a podcast a podcast. It is what RSS stands for is real, simple, syndication. Get the N in there. So RSS feed, real simple syndication. Now what this means is it allows somebody out there to subscribe to our podcast. And this is what it's all about when we're talking about podcasting. It's subscribing. And when they subscribe, they can automatically download our episodes. This is what podcasting is all about, folks, right here. It is the subscription or subscribing to and the ability to automatically download our episodes as they are released. That is what makes a podcast a podcast. If we don't set up the RSS feed, then all we really have is just an audio file or a video file that somebody can visit our website and click on and play. Once we incorporate that RSS feed, now we're into a podcast is a podcast world. So now I want to put this all together so we have an understanding of it. So we have our website here, and we've made our blog post about it. We put our audio file attached to it, and then we have created our RSS feed already. And what happens after that, once that RSS feed is created, iTunes goes out and looks for the RSS feed for our website. What our RSS feed, I should say too, it's a unique address just for our podcast. And iTunes is a podcatcher. There's others out there. It's not just iTunes. There are other podcatchers out there, but iTunes is the most popular one. And once a new episode is released from our website, it goes to the RSS feed, and the RSS feed goes out there, and it intermingles with iTunes, and then it automatically gets downloaded into your iTunes, assuming you have subscribed to that episode. And then the beauty of that is the iPod can now sync up to your iTunes, and you can take that podcast episode with you. And all of this can happen automatically, which is what is very cool and what makes a podcast a podcast. And that helps answer the question of what makes a podcast a podcast. And I cannot overemphasize the importance of the RSS feed. And if you're considering starting a podcast, you definitely want to have your RSS feed. It is kind of the lifeblood of the chain to help you get your content out there. And we'll take a look in another video tip on how exactly to set up your RSS feed, submit it to iTunes, and you can do all of this for free. So look for that coming in a future video tip. My name is David Doucette, podcastcoach.com. I want to thank you so much for joining me today.